The world held its breath waiting for the Epstein Files. For years, we'd heard the whispers, the rumors, the dark allegations swirling around a network of immense power and wealth. We were told these documents would finally pull back the curtain on a system of exploitation that reached the highest echelons of society. The files were released, thousands of pages long, and people began to dig. At first, it seemed like more of the same. Heavily redacted pages, black bars hiding names and crucial details. It felt like another disappointment, another case where the powerful protect their own. Public confidence, already fragile, began to wane. Was this it? Was this the big reveal we were promised? Just more black ink and unanswered questions? But then, something happened, something no one expected. Hidden within the digital labyrinth of those thousands of pages was a single catastrophic error. A mistake so simple, yet so profound, it threatened to unravel the very secrecy the redactions were meant to protect. It wasn't a conspiracy or a leak from a brave whistleblower. It was a simple technical glitch, a slip of the digital pen, and in that one moment of carelessness, the system showed its hand. What we're about to uncover isn't just what was in the files, but how a single mistake in trying to hide the truth ended up exposing more than anyone bargained for. This is the story of the redaction error that shook the foundation of the Epstein saga. So, what exactly went wrong? To understand the gravity of this mistake, you first need to understand what redaction is and why it's used. When you see those black bars covering text in a legal document, that's redaction. It's the process of selectively removing sensitive information before a document is made public. The official reasons are often to protect personal privacy, national security, or ongoing investigations. In the context of the Epstein Files, redactions were used to hide the names of victims, minors, and individuals who weren't directly accused of wrongdoing, but were mentioned in the documents. The goal, at least on the surface, was to balance the public's right to know with the legal and ethical obligation to protect the innocent. But let's be honest. Many of us suspected it was also a tool to shield the powerful. The process of digital redaction is supposed to be foolproof. In programs like Adobe Acrobat, you select the text, apply the redaction, and when you save the file, that information is supposed to be permanently deleted, replaced by a solid black box. It's not just covering the text with a picture. It's supposed to be like digitally shredding it. But here's where the mistake happened. In this case, it appears the redaction wasn't properly flattened or finalized. Instead of permanently removing the underlying text, it was more like placing a black sticky note over it. For most people viewing the document, it looked fine. The black bars were there, the names were hidden. But for anyone with a little bit of technical know-how, it was a different story. By simply copying and pasting the text from the PDF into a basic text editor like Notepad, the hidden names suddenly reappeared. The black bar vanished, and the text underneath was revealed, plain as day. It was a stunningly simple oversight with monumental consequences. Someone, in the rush to release these documents, had skipped a crucial final step. It's the digital equivalent of trying to hide a secret by putting your hand over it, thinking no one can see what's underneath. This wasn't a sophisticated hack. It was a basic user error, and it opened a Pandora's box. The moment the discovery was made, it spread like wildfire across the internet. Social media platforms, forums, and independent news outlets exploded. The names that were supposed to be protected were suddenly out in the open, for everyone to see. The backlash was immediate and intense. For the victims and their advocates, this was a profound betrayal. They had been promised that their privacy would be protected throughout this process. The legal system had failed to protect them from Epstein and his network, and now it had failed to protect their identities in the aftermath. The outrage was palpable. It added another layer of trauma to an already horrific ordeal. The media, which had been cautiously dissecting the redacted documents, now had a completely new and explosive angle. The story shifted from what the files say to what the files were trying to hide. The redaction failure became the headline. Every major news network across the globe picked up the story. The pressure mounted on the court and the legal teams involved. How could such a basic mistake happen in a case of this magnitude? The global attention, which had started to drift as people waded through the dense legal documents, was now laser-focused back on the Epstein saga. It reinvigorated the public's demand for full transparency and accountability. The error didn't just reveal names, it revealed incompetence at best, and a deliberate, albeit failed, cover-up at worst. It shattered any remaining illusion that this process was being handled with the care and gravity it deserved. The system, tasked with delivering justice, had fumbled on the 1-yard line, turning a quest for truth into a chaotic free-for-all of leaked information and renewed suspicion. As the dust began to settle and analysts looked closer, a more chilling theory began to emerge. What if this wasn't just a mistake? What if it was something more? This is the big twist in our story. The initial narrative was one of simple incompetence, a clumsy error made under pressure. But consider the alternative. In the world of high-stakes legal battles and information warfare, mistakes of this scale are incredibly rare. These documents would have been reviewed by teams of lawyers and paralegals. Checklists would have been followed. So, how did this happen? The twist isn't that a secret cabal deliberately leaked the names. It's something far more revealing about the nature of power and control in the digital age. This mistake exposed the limits of that control. For decades, powerful people and institutions have been able to manage information, to curate the truth the public gets to see. They controlled the printing presses, the broadcast networks, and the flow of official documents. Redaction was a key tool in that arsenal. But the digital world changed the rules. Information is fluid, messy, and hard to contain. A single error, a single click of the wrong button can undo years of carefully constructed secrecy. What this incident truly revealed was the fragility of the systems of control we thought were impenetrable. Even the most powerful entities, with all their resources, are vulnerable to the unpredictable nature of technology and the simple reality of human error. It proved that no matter how tightly you try to lock down the truth, it has a way of seeping through the cracks. The system isn't all-powerful. It's a network of people and software, and both can fail. The redaction error wasn't a conspiracy. It was a symptom of a much larger reality. In the 21st century, absolute control over information is an illusion. And this single accidental revelation did more to expose that weakness than any deliberate leak ever could. So what does this all mean in the end? The story of the Epstein Files and the failed redaction is more than just a technical glitch. It's a powerful lesson about truth, power, and the unstoppable momentum of information in our modern world. For so long, we've operated under the assumption that those in power can effectively control the narrative. They can hide the truth behind black bars, bury it in legal jargon, and wait for the public to lose interest. But this event proved that strategy is becoming obsolete. Power can control the truth, but not forever. The digital age has armed ordinary people with the tools to find, share, and amplify information at a speed that was once unimaginable. A single person, copying and pasting text into a simple program, can undermine a multi-million-dollar legal effort to conceal information. This is a fundamental shift in the balance of power. The Epstein Files proved once again that the most dangerous truths are often the ones revealed by accident. It's in these unguarded moments, these slips of the finger, that the carefully constructed facade of control crumbles, and we get a glimpse of what's really going on beneath the surface. The quest for justice for Epstein's victims is far from over, but this chapter in the saga taught us a vital lesson. The truth will find a way out, and as we continue to demand accountability, we must remember to look not just at what is being shown to us, but also for the cracks, the errors, and the accidental revelations, because that is often where the real story lies. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter.